Hey guys, Tomboy601, and today we have a little bit of a special treat. The Xbox Design Labs V2 controller came in. Yeah, so during E3, not during the main press conference, but the press conference that came after, they announced the return of Xbox Design Labs, which, if you don't know, is the program where you can go in, pay about $5 more than retail for an Xbox controller, and build a complete custom one. Here's the one that I went ahead and built. In the box, you go ahead and, as you can see, you get the controller, and then you get a set of batteries. So not much to really see there, but I figured I would do something interesting. I have both my version 1 of my Xbox Design Labs controller and my version 2 of the Xbox Design Labs controller. And I thought we'd compare them, go over them, kind of give a review, show how this one held up, and I'm pretty sure this one will hold up just as well because, well, they're fairly similar. Xbox didn't really change much this generation. So, first things first. Here is my version 1 controller, and it has served well. I bought it when the Design Lab program debuted for last generation, and it has been my dominant controller for nearly the entire time of that generation. A little bit later, once the Series X came in, it started to be relegated to Xbox xCloud duties, and I've been using it in my bag for the xCloud stuff since Series X came out, and even sometimes during the regular, when Xbox One X was around. And it has held up well, but it has definitely shown its age as being my primary controller. As you can see, the analog sticks have seen their better days. And also, I went to go in to try to kind of trade this in with my Xbox One X, and I was told actually one of the vibration motors in the shoulder buttons had gone out. So, yeah, I couldn't tell, but GameStop was like, no, we won't take that from you. You need to pay us more money or give us a better controller. And I was like, oh, okay, well, here's the controller I never used. But now on to the current one. If you've never done the Xbox Design Lab controller design, it is a really fun thing to go and just kind of spec out and do your design. I'll be honest, I spec mine out. I made mine the color of my my default Spartan, or the way I paint my Spartan in the Halo games, with main green and then the black being kind of the understone and then some hint of red. And I just like the way these colors kind of combine together, and I just really enjoy the way it goes. Now, one thing I did find interesting is the color change on the Xbox controller in the actual Xbox button. So if you look right up here, you can see this one is kind of a silver, a reflective coating, and this one on the inside, it's a black, and then the X matches the color of your actual shell, which is pretty cool. It definitely makes it feel a little bit more flatter, and makes it feel like it's a little bit more part of the device. Now, if you've never designed one of these, let's go ahead and go over what you can choose in color-wise. So you have the front plate right here, you have the rear plate, and this back part right here is one choice. Then you have this overarch right here, along with the bumpers. The triggers are upset, analog sticks, and also the D-pad. You then can also go ahead and select between a couple different sets of XB, XY. ABXY. You can go ahead and select different versions of ABXY depending on what you want, and then also the start, select, and capture button, which I don't really know if we needed a capture button. I don't know about you, but I have definitely pressed it multiple numbers of times, not meaning to do it. But yeah, you kind of go onto the Xbox Design Labs website. From there, it's a fairly easy kind of setup. You just go through order. Now, I do have to say, I did have some troubles with my order, which I was kind of disappointed in Xbox for. Basically, they announced the launch of this device. I placed my order. I got an email confirming my order, Then I started seeing other people receive their orders, who I assumed also placed the order right as the announcement went. And I went in and it told me that mine had been refunded. I didn't get an email about it, and the more interesting thing is when you check out on these things, it tells you that this order can't be refunded because it's a custom controller order, but somehow Xbox had decided to go in and cancel and refund my order without telling me. I went through my emails, there's nothing in my email. There was then also it took me literally 3 days in order to be able to get in contact with someone. While Xbox has great customer support, Xbox Design Labs is technically sold through the Microsoft Store, so you have to go through a Microsoft Store support. It literally took, it took 3 different days to get someone on the phone who then eventually, it would just lead me to a dead-end phone tree that would say, we are open between this time and this time. Then when I would call back during that time, it would still play that message, which tells me it's just a dead end. If you tried to go directly through the Microsoft Store, it said you have to go online through our help section. Like, it was an absolute mess. I was finally able to get a chat option, which you have to meet certain requirements and say certain things to the bot in order to get to trigger, which is a mess, or else it just sends you through a Q&A. And why did you guys cancel my order, and is it safe to order a new one? Isn't a common selection, so you don't know if it's okay to order another one, or if this is just some weird glitch on their website, and if you order a second one, you're going to end up getting 2 identical controllers mailed to your door. And, I'm not made of money. I don't need to spend, $140 on controllers. I don't need to do that. I'm happy with my one that I'm going to use day in and day out for the next who knows how long. But yeah, that was my experience with the ordering process, which I have to say was not the best. But once I kind of got the confirmation that the order was in fact canceled, then I could go ahead and place a new order, and it arrived weeks before they said it was supposed to, so that was at least nice. I was actually surprised when it came to my door. I was like, oh, well, that was 2 weeks before you guys said it was going to be here. So bravo to them. Overall, it's as far as like fit and finish goes, it's excellent, because it's an OEM kind of product, right? Like it feels just as good as the controller that comes with your Xbox, and you get to add that little bit of personalization to it. Right now, is the Xbox controller the best of the two? That, as far as features go, probably not, but as durability goes, I've started to see those reports on PS5 controllers kind of go downhill, and the fact that this is kind of tried and true. Yes, there was some dead stick issues, there's dead zone issues with this too, but that all has to do with, I think, the PS5, PS4, the old controller, and the Switch all use the same base sensor, essentially. So they're all going to start to have issues, but I think Xbox has a better set of settings where you can dial into dead zones and things so that it won't affect you as much with the drift, if drift does start occurring much further down the line. But I don't know, I love my Xbox controllers. There's a reason, I play on the Xbox, and one of the reasons is this controller, and with xCloud being able to play it, and just having another controller that is personalized and I know I'm going to love for the next God knows how long we're going to have these sorts of consoles. I'm very much happy, especially in the fact that it really doesn't cost much more than the default controller. Now, the default controller can be had for, I think, $50 right now, but the retail price on it's $64.95, I think, and this is $70. So, yeah, I go out and get one if you're interested in one of these, or you want a fun primary controller, and then your default one can be used for the player too. So, yeah, guys, that's my review of the Xbox, the V2 version of the Xbox Design Labs controller. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.